I also wanted to chat about what's going on in the world of labor negotiations, the other matchup in the finals, which is Nafisa Collier versus Cathy Engelbert. This has been a developing story, and I wanted to get your opinion because I just saw a clip from Candace Parker, and she was kind of speaking more to the relationship aspect that maybe Cathy lacks, because that's what Fee called out in her initial statement, and that's what a lot of players have been coming forth saying. And so Candace said, quote, "I signed a deal with Amazon. I got a text from Adam Silver saying congratulations. I had my third child. I got a text from Adam Silver about my third child. I get a Christmas gift from Adam Silver every year. I retired and Adam Silver sent me a text message. I have not heard from Cathy." She said Cathy was not at either of her jersey retirements. She said she just saw her in Phoenix and Cathy said congratulations. But there's this relationship element that feels like it's lacking in the commissioner role. How do you see that playing out in not only just the future of this role of commissioner of the WNBA, but how these the CBA negotiations are involved as well?
So, okay, this is not in defense of Cathy, but I will offer this to consideration. Adam Silver was in David Stern's office. He was in the peer view in the world of the NBA. He watched a commissioner who folks have different opinions on, but was well respected and had direct communication, coaches, players, media members, otherwise. I've heard many a David Stern story, right? Again, W being 50 years younger, if we go back to Val Ackerman, my girl, like in the NBA, like in basketball, watching, like under the leadership and tutelage of David Stern, and then this project called the WNBA, and like also a women's athlete herself, right? There is a steeping of some of those leaders that we have admired in basketball or Blackness in the case of Lisa. Like, and so I think perhaps, and I was never on Cathy's team at Deloitte. I don't know people on her team, so I can't say. But I do think perhaps some of that gap is the reason why we have diplomacy projects and sports days at corporate 500 companies, because of the things that you learn inherently in sports. So when you come to sport and don't have that, when the rubber hits the road, oh, wait, you actually have never been a teammate in this way. So just something to consider. Doesn't make it right? No, because I do think the other part of being a leader is you figure out how to best serve the folks that you are leading. It is clear that her service has been largely focused on the ownership and expansion as opposed to truly getting to know the players. I don't know if you got to truly get to know, but at least having a respect for what the players past and present have accomplished, and frankly, what the future could potentially look like. So that's just one thing that I consider in this conversation as a nerd about leadership things. So obviously it was on First Take, essays calling for her resignation. And some other things happened on this show, but whatever.
Just some other things happened. First of all, I just admire you. The facial expressions as you just have to sit there as people are saying crazy stuff.
Girl, I promise if I had been in studio, I would have stopped our good friend Mad Dog. But to his credit, that's his shtick, right? And like, if we were in person, I think he would have stopped. He would have listened. He may have still disagreed, but at least we're getting the opportunity to correct your thought process. My question, Jordan, is how appealing is the commissioner of the WNBA as a job?
That's a great question.
to me, and I'm not qualified, but sign me up. Let's go. It's time to do it, right? But I don't. How do we move forward? Is like where I'm at. Because nobody wants a lockout. It seems like y'all are far enough on the opposite sides of this thing that that's where it's headed, but we don't want that. Labor negotiations are commonplace in this country, let alone for the NBA. Like, we've seen lockouts. So part of me is like, all right, roll up your elbows. It's going to get a little funky, but that's what happens in sport, right? I just, what Fee did obviously is historic. It was a press conference unto itself. And then Cathy's response has not necessarily given me confidence that she didn't say anything that Fee suggested. And I think that probably is sort of at the crux of the issue. Even if they can get past this particular CBA, if you don't have the respect of your constituents, if you will, your days are numbered. Like, you are on the clock.
I love that point of how desirable this job title is, because I think there is a lot of people calling for a resignation, calling for her to get fired, whatever it may be. But then the next question is, okay, who gets that job? Who would you want to be in that position? And again, first time the WNBA has had this title as commissioner. It's been president, it has been leadership, people in the forefront before. But as commissioner, you get all of the heat. You get all the praise, but you get all the heat, and that is your job. You are the face of the league. So when it goes great, when it goes bad, that's what you're doing. Do you subscribe to the idea that it should be a former player? Because that would at least take the relationship part. They would just understand what the players are going through. But then it's like you said, it's the business side. It's also the other side of the puzzle. It has to be that holistic role.
Girl, I have said on record, Nneka Ogwumike could be the president as far as I'm concerned. Like, of the United States. So
of America.
Like, sign me up for anything that she's leading.
Seriously.
What I will say, I'm reading 107 Days, Kamala Harris, and the other night I was reading her as she was going through the vetting process for her vice president. And she talked about, the vice president's role is whatever the president is comfortable with. Somebody from some former administration said it could be a great job or it could be not worth a bucket of urine, which I cracked up laughing at. Anyway, I'm distracted. What I could see is a commissioner, deputy commissioner relationship.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That is, if the commissioner has the wherewithal to say, yes, I may swing 60% toward the ownership group, but let me work closely with my deputy commissioner who may swing 60% toward the players. And as a team, we can hopefully land on what is best for both sides. I would sign up for that. And then again, should there be fracas, okay, commissioner's about to roll out. Well, this deputy commissioner has at least been steeped in, you know what I mean? Potentially to take that position or however that might work. I think eventually a former player could do it. As I'm having different conversations with a number of these women in the league and not currently in the league, but Deja Kelly was on this podcast or on this panel with me at CultureCon this week, and she talked about, for her generation, it's all the NIL stuff and people trying to box her in that she can't have a podcast, can't be a business entrepreneur because she's not focused on basketball. And she's like, no, actually, I'm focused on all these things. So in that same breath, I would not say that a former player could not do it because they don't have the business background. Nah, they can be expanding. And a lot of times our WNBA players do have experiences, networks, studying the craft of leadership. So yeah, I would sign up for a former player for sure.
Okay, I love a deputy commissioner idea. That's what I'm kind of all about the solutions right now, because I don't know if we can go back and comb through the transcript of Cathy's press conference anymore. She said what she said and she didn't say what she didn't say, and I'm kind of there, but how do we move forward? Because the reality is, like I've been saying, like a broken record, this CBA is so important, not just in women's basketball, but in all of women's sports. And so many other things need to happen after the CBA gets signed. So that is, solutions need to happen. We can't keep talking about Fee versus Cathy. There is a CBA that needs to be signed, and there's bigger fish to fry. So yeah, also, you know, Kamala Harris, if you want to be like an advisor, like this, your conversation with Fee was incredible, and I'm just saying, you have that connection. Come on over to the W, save us.
There you go.
I
There
love
you
that.
go.